Melania Trump has been in the news a lot lately. I was talking about her in the monologue, and she's on the cover of Us Weekly with this cover, my side of the story. All the stars do it. Tim Gunn has done it. You have his. He'll be out here in a minute. And I did it. It's practically a rite of passage. You have mine. There you go. In Slovenia, I was a catalog model, which is what you call a model you order out of a catalog. I have no first language. I hope I inspire little girls everywhere to marry for money.
Melania Trump's secret diary just got leaked by Bill Maher's imagination. The comedian cooked up a list so spicy it'll make your eyes water. But is it just jokes, or did he hit a nerve? From The Great Escape to Born Free, Maher's got Melania's playlist all figured out. But wait till you hear what he says about her favorite breath-holding technique. Trump's about to blow his top. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. People, it appears that Melania Trump is feeling the heat after Bill Maher escalated his criticism of her. When our favorite witty comedian decided to make a fictitious 25 things you don't know about me list for the former First Lady, he really went for the kill.
It's not anti-feminist to say that in addition to doing everything men can do intellectually, women also have another power. The power of the ultimatum. In the ancient Greek play Lysistrata, women end a war by denying sex to their men. It was the original Bush doctrine. President Hellboy has proved to be impervious to facts, reason, shame, and the law. But maybe if you left him for another man, especially if that man was Mexican.
Maher began by lulling us into a false sense of security with a few mild jokes. However, he went full comedy commando on poor Melania before you could say, I really don't care, do you? And by poor Melania, I mean poor us, as we were unable to stop laughing. Here's the thing, Maher was so bold as to remark that The Great Escape is Melania's favorite film. Come on, Bill, I mean. Donald's spray tan is about as subtle as that. There's more though. Born Free is her favorite song, he added in jest. We must be aware of the music Melania listens to when she is by herself in Trump Tower, don't we? Maher didn't stop there though. He was just warming up. Oh no, he even advised Melania to follow Taylor Swift's example and shake it off. Right out the door. It sounds like a sick burn.
I copied this list from Michelle Obama. Sometimes when I bounce light off my diamond, Donald's hair will chase it like a cat. I wish I knew why I have a recurring dream I'm pinned beneath a giant orange sack of shit. And if I could tell my younger self just one thing, it would be this. If you catch a leprechaun and he gives you one wish, be more specific.
Well, since Maher's last outburst regarding the Trumps, I haven't witnessed anything so barbaric. It was being devoured by the audience like the last piece of pizza at a Weight Watchers meeting. I'm shocked the Secret Service didn't come running in thinking it was an attack because they were laughing so hard. Let's face it though, the only thing being attacked was our capacity for interludes between giggles. Folks, here's the real deal. There was more to Maher's roast of Melania than a few giggles. This was a full-fledged comedy attack on the Trump family's reputation, sir. It seems as though he applied jokes to their golden facade, and believe me, it's not easy to remove that paint, and it's almost as if Maher is using the Trumps as a punching bag for himself, but he's using punchlines in place of fists, and he has an endless supply of those, boy. It's similar to watching a comedy heavyweight fight a heavyweight. You walked right into that one, Donald. I'm sorry.
Toss his boxy clown suits on the front lawn. Just tell him I'm leaving you and I'm taking our child. He would be stunned. We have a child? Now, I know I'm probably dreaming and Melania isn't going to do any of this, but what if she had someone to do it with? Divorce is always easier in pairs. What if you had a buddy, Melania? Mrs. Rupert Murdoch, Jerry Hall. And you two have a lot in common. Your husbands are ruining the world.
It appears that our favorite orange turd has demonstrated that he is capable of giving, but not receiving. Who would have thought that a few jokes would cause the most fragile man in the world to lose his mind? Whoa, everybody did. As it happens, Trump threw a complete and utter tantrum in response to Maher's roast. Seeing a toddler who has been told he cannot have ice cream for breakfast, lunch, or dinner is similar to this. Trump is displaying a tantrum instead of throwing his toys, which has everyone wondering if he is a fragile little snowflake or if he is made of Teflon.
Melania Trump must do what dozens of buildings around the world have done and take the Trump name off. Getting men to change their destructive ways by threatening to leave them, humiliate them, or cut them off in bed. It's a tale as old as time. Maybe it falls to you now, Melania. You can end this reign of terror, and all you have to do is channel your inner Taylor Swift and walk out the door.
Not only did our sour Trumpy lose his temper, he went nuclear. He seems to have adopted Kim Jong-un's strategy and chosen to threaten comedy. Yes, you heard correctly. A taste of his own medicine is too much for the man who has been hurling insults as if they were becoming obsolete. People, talk about irony. It gets really rich here, though. In fact, Donnie Diapers insisted that Maher apologize. Is it not unbelievable? It's similar to a bully in the schoolyard sobbing to the teacher because someone has finally confronted him. Does the man who has been calling people names like Crooked Hillary and Sleepy Joe suddenly want everyone to be nice? I'm sorry, Donald, but in a hurricane, that ship traveled faster than your hairpiece. People are now speculating about Trump's next move. Will he attempt a complete comedy ban, make laughter a war zone? He might construct a wall to block out the jokes. But let's face it, people, the only wall Trump has ever been able to successfully erect is the one separating him from reality.
Trump hears some demonstrously false nonsense from some crank guest on Fox and tweets it out as fact. They're on this insane feedback loop. They're like that couple that keeps giving each other herpes. So, girls, you gotta step up. We have tried everything, but the more we resist these two menaces, the stronger they get. They're like the Night King in Game of Thrones. Your unhappiness is obvious. You despise his creepy little monkey fingers touching your hand. So kick him to the curb. Slap away that hand for good.
The worst part, though, is that Maher continued to speak despite Trump's meltdown. On the contrary, it provided Maher with even more material to work with. He seems to have been presented with a comedy treasure trove by Trump. With an ex-president who tweets constantly and has the self-control of a sugar-crazed child in a candy store, who needs writers? Trump didn't just look bad, worse than usual, because of his explosive reaction. On a windy day, it made the entire situation into a spectacle larger than his hair. He seemed to have strapped a rocket to Maher's jokes, propelling them into the stratosphere of comedy. As it turns out, political satire plays a significant role in influencing how we view our leaders, and isn't just for laughs. Who knew that making fun of politicians could have such a significant impact? According to experts, this comedy content is like a secret weapon that keeps us from dozing off from boredom while tackling difficult problems. It's sly but successful, like the political equivalent of putting vegetables in a child's food. And let's face it, a well-timed joke can be more effective than a serious debate when it comes to challenging those in positions of authority. Tossing a pie in the face of authority is analogous to doing so verbally. The next time you're laughing at a politician's expense while watching a late-night show, keep in mind that you're essentially taking part in democracy, not just having fun. What about multitasking?